Howdy y'all, Shabbat Shalom. It's not technically Shabbat yet, but uh, the the purpose of these, you can watch them at any point, but this is kind of my Shabbat um, Bible study. Well, part of it, what I'm going to be recording is for Shabbat. And it might be Shabbat by the time I get it uploaded. So, anyway, we're going to be looking back into Job. Job chapter 2. To recap, Job's a real good guy. Of course, I'm doing the very quick recap. Job's a good guy. Satan is going out among the world, and God says, "Hey, you look at my guy Job." And and Satan says, "Oh, you've given him all these things. If you take these things away from him, he'll curse you and all that. He won't be upright, and he won't follow you. You take away all these good things." And God says, "Well, all right, you can do something, but don't harm him." And so all this guy's wealth, his animals, and all of his animals are all either killed or driven off, and his servants are all the servants that were out watching the animals, and then his children are all killed, and he gets down and prays and says, "I came into this world naked, and I'll leave the same way." And so we're going into chapter 2, which in the Scoville Bible says Satan's second assault, health gone. So far, Job has not cursed God. Chapter 2. Again, there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord. Satan came also among them to present himself before the Lord. And the Lord said unto Satan, From where comest thou? And Satan answered the Lord and said, From going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down it. And the Lord said unto Satan, Hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one that feareth God, and shunneth evil? And shall he holdeth fast his integrity, although thou movedest me against him to destroy him without cause? And Satan answered the Lord, and said, Skin for skin, yea, all that a man hath will he give for his life. But put forth thine hand now, and touch his bone and his flesh, and he will curse thee to thy face. Behold, he is in thine hands, but save his life. So went Satan forth from the presence of the Lord, and smote Job with sore boils from the soles of his foot unto his crown. So from the bottom of his feet to the top of his head, he's got these sore these boils. And he took a potsherd with which to scrape himself, and he sat down among the ashes. Then said his wife unto him, Dost thou retain thy integrity? Curse God and die. But he said unto her, Thou speakest as one of the foolish women speaketh. What? Shall we receive good at the hand of God, and shall we not receive evil? In all this did not Job sin with his lips. All right, so And I think his wife was trying to be a caring wife in the sense of, her husband is suffering. And it's like, just curse God so you can end this suffering. Maybe I'm interpreting it wrong, but I mean, Job, this guy, I mean, he's lost so far. He's lost all of his animals, his cattle, his goats, his sheep, and all that. He's lost every heir he had. His sons and his daughters, they're all gone. And I mean, he's got his wife, but now from the top of his head to the bottoms of his feet, he's covered in these boils. And I kind of envision like like I got sunburnt one time on my back and my shoulders, and I had these blisters all over me. And this is just kind of my envision of this. And I had these blisters all over my back and my shoulders, and they would pop if I'd lay down on them. Like I would wake up, or if I would be wearing a shirt there for a week or so, my shirt would stick to my shoulders where the blisters would pop and the ooze and all that. So I envision that. Like that's kind of what I envision when I'm seeing these, because you just wanted to get them away, and so you would try and scrape them off, but I mean that wouldn't help because it'd just be this raw, open, gaping wound on your back or whatever. So I envision something similar to that from the bottom of your feet clear up to your head. I mean, that you're talking about some suffering there. And so his wife says, just curse God and die. Says, next is, so Job did not sin with his lips. I have a note here going into 11 says, Job and his 3 friends seen the ash heap outside an oriental village. Now when Job's 3 friends heard of all this evil that was come upon him, they came every one from his own place, Eliphaz and Tamanit and Bildad and Shuhit and Zophar and Nahamathite, for they had made an appointment together to come to mourn with him and to comfort him. Alright, so, I mean, Job's life is kind of going to pot, and all these things are happening to him. These bad things are happening to him. And so now he's got his buddies, his friends are all coming to comfort him. And when they lifted up their eyes afar off and knew him not, they lifted up their voice and wept. And they tore every one his mantle and sprinkled dust upon their heads toward heaven. So they sat down with him upon the ground 7 days and 7 nights, and none spoke a word unto him, for they saw that his grief was very great. I mean, have you ever gone to try and comfort somebody? And, I mean, there's something about them. And I'm trying to kind of envision this and put this in my own life experience. And someone who's so grief-stricken, and I mean just the sorrow on their face, and you just do not recognize them. And now, of course, Job's also covered with these boils and all of that all over his body, and you want to comfort your friend. You want to comfort this person who's so grief-stricken, but you just can't. There's nothing you can say that's going to make anything any better or give any comfort. And so they just sat with him 7 days and 7 nights, and they poured dust upon their heads and tore their mantle. So basically, I mean, they tore their clothes. It's kind of a sign of mourning, and poured dust on their heads. This is, I mean, it's another sign, kind of mourning. And they just sat with him for 3 days. And all right, we can make it three short. All right, Job's dialogue with his counselors, his lament. After this opened Job his mouth and cursed his day. And Job spoke and said, let the day perish in which I was born, and the night in which it was said, there is a male child conceived. Let the day be darkness, let not God regard it from above, neither let the light shine upon it. Let darkness and the shadow of death strain it. Let a cloud dwell upon it. Let the blackness of the day terrify it. As for the night, let darkness seize upon it. Let it not be joined unto the days of the year. Let it not come into the number of months. Lo, let that night be solitary. Let no joyful voice come in it. Let them curse it that curse the day, who are ready to raise up their mourning. Let the stars of its twilight be dark. Let it look for light, but have none. Neither let it see the dawning of the day, because it shut not up the doors of my mother's womb, nor hid sorrow from my eyes. Why died I not from the womb? Why did I not expire when I came out of my mother's body? Okay, man, this is sad. I mean, this poor man is so distraught. And I've been in positions like, I mean, I'm not saying that I went through what Job has been through, but I mean, I've been in places where it's like you really just wish you'd never been born. You wished you would have been stillborn. You wished you would have been this and that and the other. I mean, and you don't want to die. You just wished you'd never been. And why did the knee receive me, or why the breast that I should suck? For now should I have lain still and been quiet, I should have slept, then I had been at rest. With kings and counselors of the earth, who built desolate places for themselves, or the princes that had gold, who filled their houses with silver, or in hidden and untimely birth, I had not been as infants who never saw light. There the wicked cease from troubling, and there the weary are at rest. There the prisoners rest together. They hear not the voice of the oppressor. The small and great are there, and the servant is free from his master. Wherefore, in light given unto him that is in misery, and life unto the bitter in soul, who long for death, but it cometh not, and dig for it more than for hidden treasures, who rejoice exceedingly, and are glad when they can find the grave. Why is light given to a man whose way is hidden, and whom God hath hedged in? For my sighing cometh before I eat, and my roarings are poured out like the waters. For the thing which I greatly feared is come upon me, and that which I was afraid of is come unto me. I was not in safety, neither had I rest, neither was I quiet, yet trouble came. And that is a sad, sad state to end on, but we're about running out of time. All right, so Job's life is really, really bad by our standards right now. He is hurting. I mean, we might not have said it in so many words, but we've all wished that we'd never been born at times. I'm sure. I know I have. I have it. And we've all had those points in our life, and we've all questioned, like, hey, I'm not doing anything. Why I'm not sinning? Why am I being punished like this? What did I do to deserve this? Um, Fact of the matter is, the reason that Job is going through torment is because he was righteous. And fact of the matter is, he was on hell's wanted side, so to speak. If you are following in the things of Yeshua, you are seeking after the Father, you are not always going to have an easy life. Things are going to get dark. Things are going to get dark no matter what sometimes, but things are going to get dark. And it's because the devil, Satan, is not going to waste his resources on someone who's already living a life of sin. He's not. He's not going to waste it. It's like, if you are already living a life of sin and you're already hell-bound, and you're not thinking about trying to accept Jesus Christ, Yeshua HaMashiach, there's really no sense in fooling with you, because you're already gone. So, just kind of a way to put that into perspective. Just because you've got an easy life doesn't mean you're doing things right. Just because life is getting hard doesn't necessarily mean that you're doing things wrong. It's not always because you're doing something bad. I mean, things are going to happen that suck no matter whether you are saved or not. And with that, I wish all the blessings in the world upon you. I hope you all have a good one. And till next time, shalom.